In today's video, I'm going to share with you my top 8 cryptocurrency predictions for 2022. These are the events that I think are going to happen in 2022 that are going to absolutely shake up the markets. My name is Lark. Every day I make videos talking about cryptocurrency investing. So if that's a topic you'd like to learn some more about, maybe just stay up to date with, then you should definitely subscribe to the Lark Davis channel. Also, if you can take a quick second to tap on that thumbs up button for the YouTube algorithm, man, that would be super awesome. I'd obviously greatly appreciate that. Of course, anybody who'd like to receive a notification when I put out a new video should click on that notification bell. By the way, if you do not yet have your unstoppable domain, now is a great time to grab one. These are unique NFT-based cryptocurrency domain names. So you can have, for example, johnsmith.bitcoin if you want to get your personal ID, or if you want to get domains to flip, you can buy beer.bitcoin. Monkey.nft, whatever you fancy might be. Use the link down below if you want to grab your unstoppable domain today. Now, let's go ahead and get into these predictions. Now, the first prediction, surprise, surprise, I think 2022 is going to be the year that we get a spot Bitcoin ETF for US markets. Obviously, this year we got a futures ETF for US markets, which is a garbage, junk, bad, no good ETF product. We wanted the spot Bitcoin ETF. Gary from Goldman, the head of the SEC, denied us that. But I think as these futures-backed ETFs are in the market for a long enough time, we will see a spot ETF actually getting approved. We have some of the world's biggest, most influential companies like Fidelity out there trying to get a spot Bitcoin ETF. It's a matter of when, not if, it's going to happen. A lot of analysts are saying, yes, 2022 is likely, especially considering that we have futures ETFs already. Now, why is it a big deal that we get a spot ETF for Bitcoin in the USA, the world's a big place? Why are we so focused on the US? The US stock markets account for 50% of total global equity markets. It's a pretty damn big deal. One country, more than 50%, I think it's like 52 or 53% of the total value in global markets is just in US markets. So it's a pretty damn big deal. And we've already seen a great success with spot Bitcoin ETFs because this one here is the Canadian one. Canada, only 2% of global equity markets, has already been doing fantastically well. They have, I think, 4 Bitcoin spot ETFs. This is the most successful one, the Purpose Bitcoin ETF. It currently has 30,500 Bitcoin. That's a lot of Bitcoin, man. People want spot Bitcoin ETFs. There's a massive demand for it, and this ETF shows it. So when we see an ETF coming into US markets, it unleashes a tidal wave of money that can enter the markets that may otherwise not do it. So that's going to happen in 2022. Fingers crossed. Next, I believe a major central bank is going to add Bitcoin to their balance sheet. And look, I know we already have like Iran, which has been buying some Bitcoin from miners to get around sanctions. We have Venezuela, which has been accepting Bitcoin for some taxes at the airport and stuff like that. We've had some things happening. El Salvador, obviously, they got big into the Bitcoin game. They've been buying the dip. But these countries are more outliers. We want to see one of the really big powerhouse countries get into it. Someone like France, they've been very crypto friendly. Someone like Russia, they would actually be a great use case for Bitcoin adding, and they've been going crazy on buying gold. Seeing them buy some Bitcoin would not be that incredible, to be honest. Maybe it's more of a really sort of, a long-term super crypto friendly country like Switzerland. But I think we're going to see a major central bank doing that in 2022. And it would be a big deal when it happens because it says to all the other central banks, we need to start buying some Bitcoin too. And look, we already have sovereign wealth funds which are buying Bitcoin. So earlier this year, we found out that Singapore's sovereign wealth fund had been buying Bitcoin. Now we have the UAE's, one of their sovereign wealth funds coming out saying we're also going to start buying cryptocurrencies. That's a big deal. It's not a big step from there to see central banks like France or Russia coming in and saying, you know what, we're going to buy 10,000 Bitcoin and put it on our balance sheet because That's like the new gold, and we're gonna get involved before it's too late. That will be a damn big deal when it happens. I think 2022 could be the year we finally get our first country intentionally doing that with the way to have it as a reserve asset. One of the big countries anyway. I know we got some of the little guys doing that already, but I think we'll see a really big country do that. Now, what about the legal tender thing? Obviously, El Salvador 2021 was crazy. They legalized Bitcoin as legal tender within the country, going farther than any country has gone before in terms of Bitcoin legislation. Awesome. In 2022, we're going to get another one. We are going to get another country in 2022 legalizing Bitcoin as legal tender. We have so many strong candidates for this to happen. Ukraine has been very, very crypto friendly. We have Panama, which is still kind of a slave to the US dollar. They can break those chains, take Bitcoin on board. We have countries like Tonga, which just get screwed by these remittance companies. They would be another great candidate for Bitcoin. So it's going to happen. I don't know which country it's going to be, but we will see another country going down this heavy legalization route of making Bitcoin an accepted, normalized, and yes, legal tender within the country. I reckon by the end of the decade, we'll have a good handful of them, but I think 2022, we will get our second one. Next, let's talk about an Ethereum prediction. I predict that Ethereum is going to drop below 50% of the total value locked on chain. So it started 2021 at 97%, almost complete market dominance. Ever since that time, the total value locked on chain for Ethereum has actually grown by a total number. However, its market share has fallen all the way down to 66%. The crushing fees on Ethereum that often see a basic swap on Uniswap costing from $50 to $100, trying to do something in decentralized finance, providing liquidity, taking that liquidity provider token somewhere else, getting insurance on it, et cetera, can cost $1,000 or more. I've paid more before, which is, not like some kind of like humble brag. I can afford to pay crazy fees on Ethereum. That sucks. It's a complaint. I don't want to pay high fees on Ethereum, man. That's not cool at all. Those crushing fees are seeing users flock over to Binance Smart Chain. They're going over to Solana. They're going over to Avalanche. They're going over to Polygon. Yes, we are seeing layer 2s for Ethereum also being adopted, but I think 2022 is the year we see Ethereum's market dominance in terms of DeFi total value locked. It's going to go under 50%. Look at the trend. It's going under 50%. We will see these other chains picking up the pieces. The total value locked on Ethereum could continue to grow. It's just going to grow faster on the other chains because they're more appealing to new users who can't afford to pay stupid amounts or just don't want to pay stupid amounts of fees. Next, let's talk about XRP. XRP, I think, is going to win its court case versus the SEC. At least I hope that it does. The SEC has basically been a big schoolyard bully at this point. It's so funny when you look at like token sales and stuff like this, and it's always the same kind of people. Oh, you can't, if you're from Iran or North Korea or Venezuela or the United States, right? It's a ridiculous situation that the SEC has put regular investors into. You can't invest in token sales. You can't get airdrops. You can't do certain kinds of trading. There's all kinds of uncertainties about even the tokens themselves that are listed on exchanges. Gary from Goldman, the head of the SEC, has come out and said, well, the vast majority of tokens listed on exchanges probably are securities. That has far-reaching implications of that kind of talk. However, if Ripple wins its court case, it sets a major precedent and will kind of put the schoolyard bully, the SEC, in their place. So I think we should all be rooting for Ripple to win this case. It would be a net positive for the industry. If the SEC wins, it then gives them a precedent to be able to go after a wide range of other tokens. So let's hope that the guys over at Ripple end up pulling off a victory in this court case. I think they will. Now, let's talk about the next company to buy Bitcoin, to add it to its balance sheet. Tesla is not going to be the only major company to be holding Bitcoin forever. Well, I know MicroStrategy's got truckloads and just basically insane, at least 130, 140,000 Bitcoin now. But for reference, MicroStrategy is like the 2020th company by market cap. I want to see one of the big boys getting into Bitcoin. And my guess for that is Facebook. Now, why do I think Facebook? Lots of great contenders out there. I think that Facebook is a great candidate for it because they have $60 billion in cash on hand, which of course is suffering from the same inflation everybody else's dollars suffer from. But when you have $60 billion being inflated away, that hurts, man. That hurts. I think we're also going to see Facebook enable Bitcoin in their Novi app. So the Facebook Novi app, they're currently allowing for stablecoin transfers within the U.S. and between, I think, the U.S. and was it Honduras or Nicaragua, one of those Central American countries. I think considering these recent moves, considering their pivot towards the metaverse, right? They've literally renamed the company Meta because I think the metaverse is going to be so gosh darn big. So they're moving into the metaverse. They're already doing crypto stablecoin transfers. I think it's only a matter of time before we see Facebook say, hey, you know what? Let's just take $1 billion or $2 billion of our cash. It's a tiny fraction of our total cash. Throw it into Bitcoin because it's probably better than holding on to cash. I think so. I think it's going to be Facebook, personally. The next prediction, cat meme coins are going to overtake the dog meme coins. I mean, come on. I know every dog has its day. Shiba's had its day. Doge's had its day. Floki's had its day. Shiba, Floki, Inu, Elon, Doge, Monkey Coin has had its day. They've all had their day at some point. Maybe the dogs have had too many days at this point. It's time for some good old-fashioned cat meme coins to just rocket up to be worth stupid amounts of money. Anyway, this is a joke. I don't, maybe we'll see some cat meme coins doing something, man. But people seem to really just do love the dog meme coins. But yeah, I'm sure those will continue to be popular into 2022. Anyway, final prediction here for you. The total market cap for all cryptocurrencies combined is going to cross $10 trillion in 2022. I do not believe we're at the start of a bear market. I have laid out my case for that in previous videos over the last week or so. We're not in a bear market. We are in a consolidation accumulation phase within our wider market structure here. Now, back in November, we saw the entire cryptocurrency market cap, all the coins combined, almost hit $3 trillion. That's only about a 3.3x from the all-time high market cap to get up to 10 trillion. It's really not even that crazy when you stop to think about it. I know it's a lot of money. It's $7 trillion. However, this market can move real fast. And let's go back to some of those predictions I have. The spot Bitcoin ETF, that's going to unleash trillions in liquidity. Facebook buying, that'll bring in a new speculative frenzy. More companies are going to buy. Maybe more companies will buy if Facebook buys. Right? And all this other stuff that's going on. If we have a central bank start buying Bitcoin, that unleashes the bulls once again. So I think 2022 is going to be very bullish. I think the lengthening cycle is in play here. Potentially a super cycle is in play as we see the adoption really starting to take off for cryptocurrencies. So $10 trillion market cap, it's going to happen. Fingers crossed. Let's dare to whisper of this dream right now so we can will it into existence in 2022. Anyway, just my predictions for 2022. Your question. Do you think that any of my predictions are going to come true? Maybe you have a prediction of your own, something that I didn't mention. Like, Lark, how could you not have said that, Cardano is going to be the #1 cryptocurrency or whatever it's going to be? Let me know down below in the comment section what your prediction for 2022 is. Thanks so much for watching today's video, and peace out till next time.